Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Today I have this look for you and I'm really excited because every single product is a drugstore product. Therefore, it's going to be more affordable for you to recreate. And it's just a soft, flirty, feminine, sweet look, perfect for Valentine's Day. Otherwise, you can wear it any time of the year, really. More of natural, and it's just really girly and flirty. So if you want to see how I got this look, a full face tutorial, then just keep watching. Today I'm going to start with my face products. So I'm going to prime my face with the Master Prime by Face Studio. It's a Maybelline product. Now this is in the Blur and Illuminate because I have dry skin. And then I'm going in with the Revlon Photo Ready Airbrush Effect Makeup. And I'm just buffing that in with the flat top brush from Sedona Lace. I actually really enjoy this foundation. However, I don't think you would like it if you have oily skin at all. Even normal skin, you probably might want to steer clear. It does have kind of like somewhat chunky glitter or shimmers in it. I personally like it because it looks dewy, the finish is dewy, and that's what I love. I love to try to achieve dewy skin because I'm dry, but otherwise you probably won't like it unless you're dry. And then I'm going to go in with another Maybelline product. This is the Master Conceal in the lightest shade, which is Fair. I'm just rolling that together, and the warmth of my hands is going to help warm the product up and just make it more malleable and a lot easier to work with. So I'm just placing that on. I actually really like this stuff. It reminds me of one of my favorite concealers, my oldie but goodie Tarte Miracle, what's it called? The Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. Now, as far as creaseless goes, I don't think any concealer is really that creaseless. For me, I always have to set it, so I'm just placing that concealer all over the under eye area to brighten up, and then also on the eyelid just to neutralize any discoloration. And here I have way too much product, so definitely a little bit goes a long way with that concealer. The damp sponge will definitely help to blend it and then also absorb some of the excess product. And then I'm going to go in with this NYX Infinite Shadow Stick. It's just like a white color, and you can just see it doesn't have a lot of pigment, and I just didn't really like it. For the look, I wanted something more bright, so I went back in with my Jordania Made to Last. It's just a white chubby pencil. I hope these are not being discontinued, but I don't know if they are or not. So anyway, and then I'm going in with Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer. This is in the shade Ivory, and I'm just gonna brighten up. I actually thought it was the Radiant one when I purchased it, but it's not. So just add a little bit more brightness to the under eye because I really wanted a fresh faced look, so anything I can do to add extra brightness, I'm gonna do it. And then of course just blending that out. I'm gonna go ahead and take my e.l.f. HD under eye setting powder and just set my under eye area. I'm also gonna set on the eyelid area, so shadows that we lay down will just lay down a lot smoother and less patchy. And that is, I believe, the e.l.f. Studio Blush Brush, which is great for under eye setting, one of my favorites, and it's only $3. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with my L'Oreal True Match Mineral Makeup. This is actually the first time that I used it. I love the color match. It's super warm tone, so I like that, and that's a Morphe Gunmetal round powder brush. And then here I'm going to quickly do my brows using the Milani Brow Sculpting Kit. I believe it's the shade Light, and I'm just filling the brows in. It's honestly nothing spectacular. I'm literally just filling in the brows with an angled brow brush. I love that Anastasia number 12 brush. And then just filling them in really somewhat harsh looking, because then I go in with the warmth of my finger and just rub it together like this. And that just helps kind of make the product look more natural. And then I go in with the spoolie and just kind of spoolie them out to make them look even more natural, and then just clean up with a Q-tip. I will be posting my brow routine soon, so I do have that filmed. I just need to edit it for you guys. And then just to add a little bit more pigment, a little bit more coverage where my brows are sparse, because I do have like a scar and it's hard to get them filled in a lot. So I'm just going in with the Maybelline brow little doodad with the interesting wand and just setting those in place, but also adding a little bit extra pigment. And then I'm going to go in with Milani Bella eyeshadow in Bella White. It's basically a stark white color, and I'm just placing that in over the entire eye area, as I usually do when I start my makeup, my eyeshadow looks. I just like to have a nice base of product so other products blend easier. And then I'm going in with Milani Bella eyes also in the shade Bella Cappuccino. Just a really neutral mid-tone brown. Just using that, or putting that right in the crease for a transition color, working the most on the outer portion but taking it over to the inner corner as well. And I'm actually using double-sided brushes by EcoTools, and I really like them. I believe it's like $5.99 for a 2-pack, but each brush is double-ended, so you're essentially getting 4 brushes for $6. So I mean, they're not like my holy grail brushes, but for the price I think they're really good stuff. So you'll see that I'm using those here. And then I'm just taking a little bit more of that product, the Bella Cappuccino, on a round blending brush by Morphe, and I'm just adding a little bit more pigment and then also blending out at the same time. Blending out is super important. If you don't know, it's just really important to have a nice blown out seamless look, and I just take medium to small circular motions and about light pressure. So now I'm going in with Walking on Eggshells Wet n Wild Trio. I'm going in with the crease color on a Sigma E25 brush, and I'm just going to deepen up the crease just to add some more depth. Working that color on the outer part of the eye and then bringing a little bit over to the inner corner, but mostly on the outer part of the eye, as you can see. In my tutorials, you might notice that I do a lot of extra steps because I'm all about layering thin layers of product and building up. In my personal opinion, I just think it's the easiest way for an easy eyeshadow application that's going to turn out looking the best, whether you're a beginner or a pro. And then I have Bella Bronze, also by Milani. I'm just taking that on a Makeup Geek more precise crease brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit more depth, as you can see, just placing that on the outer corner and working it in on the outer corner. And then once the product is deposited mostly on the outer portion, I'm just bringing it in a little bit, and you can see that that is starting to form a really nice depth look to the eye. And then the same Morphe brush, MB23, I think that brush is like $5 and it's awesome. I'm just blending everything together. And then I'm going in with the eyelid color in the Wet n Wild Trio, and I'm placing that on my eyelid. So I am using one of the sides of the EcoTools brush. It's just like a kind of a fluffy shader brush, and I'm just packing that on. These colors are so beautiful. The Wet n Wild Trios are great, and they're like $3, so I really do love that. The Walking on Eggshells is probably my favorite one. And then I'm going back in with the crease color and then the angled little brush on the EcoTools double-ended brushes, and I'm just going to start stamping that right into my lash line just for a really soft but subtly defined eyelash look. And then going back with Bella Cappuccino and the smudging brush side of the EcoTools brush, I'm just going to smudge that right under my lower lash line to add more definition and a little bit of a smoked look. And then I'm just going to line my waterline. This color, or this pencil in Champagne from LA Girls, is not very pigmented, but I love these gel liners in general. I love them, but that one's just not pigmented. And then a recent favorite, or a January favorite I should say, the CoverGirl Full Lash Bloom Mascara. I'm just going to hit that on my upper and lower lashes. I really like it. It gives a nice soft fluttery look, and you can build up the volume. It's just a great kind of everyday mascara. It's not going to be like the most intense mascara ever, but I enjoy it. Alright, so we have Milani Baked Blush in Berry Amore. And I'm just taking that, and guess what I'm doing with that? Yeah, I'm putting it on my cheeks like you would a blush. I love that color. Those blushes are fantastic. And then I'm going to highlight using the e.l.f. Baked Blush in Pinktastic. It's essentially a highlighter. Now this brush that I'm using is a set. It's from a set. It's the Coastal Scents Pearl brush set, so you can't buy it individually. Just wanted to shout that out. And now for lips, I worked really hard to come up with this combination. I'm just kidding. I just wasn't happy with it, so I kept building and adding until I was happy, and I love how it turned out. So I'm just starting with a NYX lip liner in the color Soft Brown, just like a beigey color. I just love how this type of color will sculpt and just make your lips look fuller. So I'm just lining my natural lip line and going ever so slightly outside my natural lip line just to create a fuller lip look. And these slim pencils are great, and layering the product in little layers at a time will also help the longevity of your lip wear. And then I'm taking NYX in, what is that called? Nude Truffle. So I had Soft Brown first, and then Nude Truffle is also like a brownish beigey color, but it's a little bit darker than the Soft Brown. So I'm just hitting that on the outer contours of the lips. Again, all to add a fuller lip look. And then I'm taking from the Maybelline Rebel Blooms. I had to show you the packaging because it's so cute. This is a Blushing Bud. And I just wanted more of like a lavender hint to the look, so I didn't stop here, although you totally could have. So I went in with JCat Beauty Pout-aholic lipstick in this beautiful purple color, and I just am dabbing that on, not really saturating the color on, but just kind of dabbing, as you can see. And yes, I did have to smell it because I smell all my products. I didn't even realize that I did that until I was editing, and I thought it was pretty funny. And then to create the illusion of even larger lips, I'm taking this JCat Beauty white lipstick and I'm just placing it on the center of my lips. That's just going to create the illusion of larger, fuller lips, which is the trend that I've been personally enjoying lately. Make sure you blend it all together with your lips like I do here. Otherwise, you can just blend it with your finger or a lip brush. And then I decided to add a little extra kick. I'm taking Milani Bella eyeshadow in Bella Fuchsia, and I'm just popping that right into the crease just to add more of a soft, girly look, which makes it even more appropriate for Valentine's Day, if you're going to use it for that day. And then I'm just setting my face with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Setting Spray. So that actually finishes up the look using all drugstore products. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, it's a great one to recreate for, like I said, Valentine's Day, or really any time of the year when you just want a really more natural, flirty, fresh, feminine, girly look. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!